Black magic.
You got to know, got to show, it's time to roll. So just tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you want. So just tell me what you want to hear.
Welcome back to another edition of RaTG TV. Okay, better.
Yes, better.
Much better.
I was scared.
Well, you're stuck in the middle too of, I don't know. Some would say a shitstorm.
Yeah. This is not a threesome I would want to be a part of.
No, that's a threesome that they don't even want to be a part of. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of RaTG TV. It's your boy Zeus here, joining me as he does from week to week. That is my partner, a la ma gauche, a la left, the Wellandwingnut himself, Steve Lambert. How's it going, bud?
It's going well, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm catching up on some much needed rest. You know, we had sickness go through the house there, so trying to deal with that and get back and going.
Gotta get some echinacea in you.
Yeah, or just some social distancing. But yeah, no, things are good.
This is our NFL draft show.
NFL draft show. Come on. The Vikings did all right, though. We're shoring up our defense. I like that. What's the Bengals been doing?
Yeah, also going after defense, we took Daxton Hill in the first round. Michigan Wolverine, one of your boys. So very versatile. Can play safety, can play corner. So
yeah, he's pretty versatile. I think he had a bunch of picks too.
Yeah, we went heavy on the defense as well. Took one O lineman.
Well, I was going to say, you guys have to go after an offensive lineman as well. We haven't yet. We grabbed a running back as well. Dalvin's starting to get up there.
Crazy.
He's getting up there in age of a running back, that is. So
it's just crazy that the first quarterback went at 20, and then our second one didn't go till 73.
Right. Yeah, I know.
Not the year of the quarterback.
Give it a few years, it will be. But it is. It's been the year of the shitstorm, as you will, as we say. We've got Johnny and Amber going on right now, and just like everything else that happens in the world, we find a way to politicize it. Where we got to be, are you Team Johnny or are you Team Amber? But I got to say, this is. It seems a lot of people are Team Johnny, though. It seems like the majority of people.
I kind of found myself in the middle.
No pun intended.
But no, from what little I really have seen of it, it definitely really feels like Johnny's coming out looking a little better in this one.
And you're seeing all the videos everywhere of him just clowning Amber's legal team.
Yeah.
And we're seeing even his friends and witnesses that are coming on, and they're making jokes. It's entertaining. We'll give it that. That's for sure. Best courtroom drama is Fracture.
Ooh.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Yeah,
she is.
She is. She really is.
She is. No, we love you, just in case we have to work with you ever.
In Aquaman 14.
Do you think she comes back for Aquaman? I don't think there's going to be another Aquaman with the way the new Warner Brothers management is out there. Yeah, they're talking reboots a bit. Yeah, I don't think if there is an Aquaman 3, I don't think she's there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I watched every day. Her lawyers are crazy. I know, but maybe they looked at the 2016 election and thought, "Hey, crazy wins." I don't know. That's just the way I'm looking at it. Fracture starred Anthony Hopkins. Gonna have to look that one up. I love Anthony Hopkins too. So yeah, because of the whole Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing, we thought, hey, why not talk about our favorite courtroom based movies? Now that's a very fluid kind of thing. There's a lot of these movies. A lot of courtroom dramas don't spend a lot of time in courtrooms. Just for kind of the fun. The finale and stuff, and
one I did have on my list that we'll give an honorable mention to now, just real quick, was Aaron Brockovich. Great true story. Not a lot of courtroom drama in that one, but great movie nonetheless.
Yeah, and maybe we should have changed it to legal movies.
Yeah.
But that's the general idea that we're going for with this week's theme. So let us know in the comments, what do you think? What are the greatest fictional or non-fictional? What are the greatest legal movies that you've ever seen? What's on your Mount Rushmore? She is not coming back. If you want her, then let her shit your bed. No, I meant coming back for whatchamacallit, Aquaman 2.
Aquaman 2, yeah.
Yeah, sadly it looks like she is. But that's kind of the way she goes.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I'm having some issues here with scrolling on the comments there. But we move on as we do. So we were going to go through that. We're going to talk about what our top fives are. Also, we have the news like we do every week with This Week in Geek. And Steve, you've got your 5-second movie review this week.
I do. I watched Uncharted starring Tom Hardy and your boy, William Wahlberg there.
He's my favorite. He's my favorite. I wish him and Amber Heard were married.
Yeah, this is. I hadn't played the games. These are games I really want to play. So I was worried about watching this one and maybe possibly any spoilers for the games.
Yeah, I think you're okay that way. Like,
yeah, that's kind of the gist I got from online. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to check this one out and give her a review.
I heavily recommend playing these games as soon as you can, though. Yeah. Even I haven't played one in a long time, but I went back and played the fourth one again. Maybe half a year ago, and it still holds up, and 3 is just as good. I don't remember 1 and 2 that much, so honestly, because it's been so long. He lost Jack Sparrow with no evidence. She is nuts. She's not gone from. They've already filmed Aquaman 2, so I'm sorry. She's already in there. It's part of the timeline now, but. Yeah, I wouldn't worry.
I mean, do they go down the road of reshoots? I mean, who knows, right? That could be very costly.
Yeah, exactly. And we just don't want to deal with that, honestly. Or they don't want to deal with that. Moving on. Fall from Grace.
People were campaigning for Khaleesi to take her role. I can't think of the real actor.
Right. Right. From Game of Thrones.
Right.
Oh, my God. Why can't I think of her name either? Emilia Clarke.
Emilia Clarke, that's it.
Yeah. They have great chemistry. I don't know about her for Mira, but sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Give me Gina Carano. I'm ready for Gina Carano to come back to The Mandalorian, honestly. Seriously, I like the character more than I dislike her politics. Like, and I don't care about her politics. I don't care about anybody's politics. Like, especially when it comes to entertainment. You can have an opinion, and that's great. I use your platform. That's not what I'm saying. Because I'm like Elon, freedom of speech. You say what you want to say, as long as you're not instilling hate of some sort. But I think it's time to bring Gina back to The Mandalorian. Yeah, so we'll talk about Uncharted. You got that for your 5-second movie review. We got the news, but why don't we just get to it? Let's get to our picks for our favorite courtroom/legal movies. Steve, I'll let you start us off as you do every week, buddy.
Sure. We're going to go back to 1996 for my first one. A huge hit for Joel Schumacher. Great cast: Matthew McConaughey, Sandra Bullock, Samuel L. Jackson. A tough watch. I mean, this was a very serious subject. Involves the rape of a young girl in the South, and Samuel L. Jackson's character actually shoots one of the accused in court, and the trial of the movie itself is more about him and getting off in the end. Spoilers
from 30 years ago.
Like I said,
good movie though. I remember this one, and
huge hit for Schumacher. $40 million budget, made $152 million.
Yeah. Wait, who did you say was the director?
Joel Schumacher.
Wow.
Yeah.
Batman?
Bat
nipples?
Bat nipples.
That Schumacher? You don't mean Michael Schumacher that didn't try. Wow. I mean, and it was a great movie. And this was Matthew McConaughey stepping out of the rom-com roles stepping into this. Like this was a big departure from where he was. Sandra Bullock as well was known for the rom-coms.
Yeah, man.
And Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Samuel L. motherfucking Jackson.
Arguably one of his best roles.
We were talking about him earlier and about all the different great roles he's had. And Jerome Moore, a friend of ours, who's artist at the WB Animation. Yeah, we name dropped. He had posted asking about what role is Samuel L. Jackson most badass for, and we talked about Jules and shit like that. But
right,
even here, he's a badass character.
Yeah, sure.
And unthinkable.
I'm gonna stick with my man Matthew McConaughey. All right.
McConaughey.
And we're gonna fast forward to 2011 for another mediocre hit, $40 million budget, made $87 million. The Lincoln Lawyer, great movie. What's I can't remember his name. Ryan Philippe.
Oh, Ryan Felipe. Oh my God, what a good actor too he is.
Yeah,
underrated, really underrated.
Yeah, no, this is a really good movie. Now, have you seen the trailer for the upcoming Netflix series, The Lincoln Lawyer?
No, I haven't. I got to be honest. Go ahead.
It looks like something you may find on Johnny Depp's bed after Amber's been in there.
Wow, looks like a piece of shit, does it? Wow. I got to be honest. A lot of these movies from this era, we had a lot of John Grisham movies come out, and a lot of them just kind of bleed together in my memory as in one movie, or not sure which was which, but knowing that I'm like, oh, I watched this one a million times, but I forget which one it is. A Time to Kill, I completely remember though.
Yeah.
Because that one was like, that's a good pull. Lincoln Lawyer was good too, but I just have a hard time. Really
I just rewatched it, so a little more fresh in my memory, but yeah. True story for this next one. The story of Betty Ann Waters trying to get her brother's conviction overturned. Kenny Waters spent 18 years in prison for a crime he did not commit. All the while, his sister put herself through law school to become the lawyer of her brother and eventually get him off on some DNA evidence 18 years later. Unfortunately for Kenny, he died from an accidental fall not 6 months after being released in prison in 2001.
Damn.
Yeah.
And that's conviction.
That is conviction.
Sam Rockwell,
great
Swank. Like, I mean, wow. I've never even heard of this movie before, but
yeah, it didn't do well. $11 million budget, only made $12 million. So yeah, not widely noticed, but a great movie if you can find it.
Nice. I like it. Good call, sir.
And you mentioned John Grisham a few seconds ago. 1993's The Firm. What's a monster hit? Tom Cruise, my boy.
Yeah, man.
Right. $42 million budget. This movie made $270 million fucking dollars.
Dude, this is another one. I remember this movie, and I remember that he's on the run. Like, he's a lawyer this is an action movie as well.
Right.
But I don't remember the fucking movie. I remember.
Gene Hackman, Will from Brindley.
Wow. I'm going to have to go back and watch that again.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Well, we have a question from a Facebook user.
Is conviction a true story?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So I was just wondering. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I couldn't see your question there because I have stuff that's blocking the very last questions that I'll come up.
And then last but certainly not least, I had to throw a comedy on here. Ralph Macchio, Joe Pesci, Marissa Tomei, and whoever the hell that guy was.
Jason Robards.
My cousin Benny, $11 million budget, made $64 million. Pretty good for a comedy.
Yeah, this was a fun movie. I definitely remember this one, watching all of it. Jason Robards, who played Herman Munster in the Munsters.
As the judge.
It plays the judge.
The two
also,
Utes.
Pet Sematary. The two Utes. Did he say Utes? Yeah, good movie. And not shocked at all that this made your list. Great list, buddy. I definitely dig it. Now, I hate going after you because you always deep dive. You're like, this made this much money and did this, and I'm just like, yo, man, I like this one. I don't know why. It was just fun, you know.
Well, hey, that's good enough reason.
But yeah. Well, that's the only reasons that I have. All right. I these aren't particularly in any set order because these top 5 of mine, I really could have changed, or at least the bottom 4, I could have interchanged because these are just the ones that are all up there for me. But number 5 on my list, and this is absolutely not saying that it's the least best. It's just it was so hard to rank these. But I went with the Woody Harrelson and oh my God, how did I forget her name
People
already?
versus train wreck there.
Courtney
Love.
Courtney Love. Thank you.
I don't know how I could forget that.
And every time I think of Courtney Love, I just think of that meme that's out there of Kurt Cobain and her, and above Kurt's head it says radio star, and above her head says video.
Yeah.
But no, this movie made a ton of money. I don't know exactly how much, but it did also have a huge budget. Oliver Stone film, and Woody Harrelson at the height of being the most Woody Harrelson-y that
he could get.
Yeah, exactly. He was putting the wood in it.
I think the hard R rating probably hurt the box office on this one because I'm looking now. Made $43 million on a $35 million budget.
Okay. Well, not too bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
again, our rating is tough sometimes.
It's always tough at that times. And then you got to think of what the content was, too. We're talking about Larry Flint, the owner and creator of Hustler, who, whereas Hugh Hefner tried to play off that he was this sophisticated, guy that was just enjoying the women, Larry Flint made no bones about it, and he took a bullet for it.
Yeah, and I mean, really, people can thank the freedom of speech laws for him.
Right, honestly. So for me, that was a big one that had to be on this list. Like you, for number 4, I'm like, I gotta have a comedy in there somehow. And I'm like, a lot of comedic movies out there, but is there any better than being able to have Pauly Shore and Andrew Dice Clay in the same movie? And that's right, Jury Duty. Now, maybe not the best Pauly Shore movie.
Hey, you know what? This one was originally on my list, and I switched it, so that's why I have a little bit of info on it. Stanley Tucci, Tia Carrere,
right?
Brian Doyle Murray, Abe Vigoda.
Abe.
Yeah. It was $17 million budget, made $21 million. Hey, it's a profit. That's good for a Pauly Shore movie.
Right. And this was nearing the end of the Pauly Shore run. Like, he had already made Son-in-Law and In the Army Now. Encino Man. Yeah. And people were they were starting to get a little tired of wheezing the juice, I think. But hey, man, I still love Pauly Shore. I think he's hilarious.
I do. I'm a big Pauly Shore fan.
I still follow him on social media. He still says some stuff that's maybe really outdated now, but he's a boomer.
He is.
He is a boomer. So yeah, number 4 for me is Jury Duty. This is where it really, really started to get tough for me. I can't believe I'm putting this as number 3. More than me not being able to believe I can't believe I'm putting this at number 3. I can't believe you didn't know what it was when you saw the photos and you're like, what is this movie? Dude, this was, we didn't know anything really about AIDS at the time when this came out. And we thought we knew a lot when this came out. And even you look back on this movie, they still get a lot of things wrong, but it was in the inception of the disease. But putting a huge spotlight on it all and on the LGBTQ crowd way before anybody else was thinking about that. And that was Denzel Washington, Tom Hanks in the movie Philadelphia. And this movie was like a huge box office success. Was this the one that started off all the Oscars for Tom Hanks?
I'm going to say yes because it's 93 and I'm pretty sure Forrest Gump was 94.
Right. Because this was a budget of $26 million, and they raked in $206.7 million at the box office. like we said, Tom Hanks getting an Oscar for this. It was just a huge movie.
It was probably either right around this time or maybe slightly a year or two before. But like you said, this movie, because I mean, it's freaking Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington. It's a major motion picture. The only thing I really remember for this that really was trying to start to change the stigma was the Ryan White story. Because before that, everybody thought AIDS was a gay disease, or AIDS was, then it started to become more of a drug disease, as well as a gay disease. Right. And then 11-year-old Ryan White got it through transfusion. And people were like, hey, this kid's not a drug addict. This kid's not gay. Check your head, people. This is.
Yeah, this isn't to be. And okay, I'm sorry. But a lot of that was God-fearing people saying this is God's punishment. And we have to stop that. I'm sorry. If you believe in God, believe that God loves everybody.
That's right.
That's it.
And if he doesn't, then fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. And he would have to be a guy then, because only guys are dicks like that. No, I'm just kidding, Amber Heard. Moving on. Not sorry. We're not sorry. So that was tough. That was 3, dude. That was 3. So then that brings me down to the top 2. And this, I'm like, even right now, I'm like, I don't know which one I want to go with number 2 or number 1, but I think I have to do it just because of, I guess it's the lesser of the known. But for me, this was a movie that put Keanu Reeves on the acting map for me. Acting. I already knew who he was well before this.
Right.
Not only did it put him on the map for me, it put a young South African on the map for me. And that was a young Charlize Theron, who I've said time and time again is the greatest actor on the planet at this moment. As you can see there, The Devil's Advocate is my choice there. Starring, of course, Al Pacino as the titular John Milton, a.k.a. the Devil. Now, this one, I'm not seeing too much. I know they had a $57 million budget, but I'm not seeing what it actually made.
This is one I know I've seen, but I honestly don't remember it and probably haven't watched since then. Yeah.
Wow. This one was a mind fuck of a movie. You've got the young up-and-coming lawyer Keanu Reeves, who gets taken on to Al Pacino's firm. And Al Pacino is basically the devil in this, spoiler. And, Keanu goes from a good-hearted, wanting to do the right thing lawyer to becoming, the next incarnation. And at the end, of course, he does the right thing. But there's so many disturbing moments. Like the moment where Charlize walks into the courtroom. I think it's the courtroom. She walks in naked, takes off her robe, and she's just got, like, scars all over her body. He did this to me. Yeah, dude, it was so intense. Great movie.
Happy before scars.
Sorry, well, they were open wounds.
Right.
So there you go. Is that making any better? I wanted to tell you the truth. But you can't handle the truth. That's right. My number 1. I had to go with it. You had Tom Cruise earlier on. And I had to come back with him here. He, Demi Moore, Kiefer Sutherland, Jack Nicholson. I mean, Eric.
The kid from Gladiator.
Yes, that kid too. Was he?
Was it Gladiator? No. What was that movie called? The fight movie with him and Cuba.
Oh, that was Gladiator. That's right. I totally forgot about that kid that we've never seen again since this movie. I mean. Have you?
No, probably not.
I mean, now I'm looking at it just to see if I can see what his name is. Kiefer Sutherland was in it. Kevin Bacon. Aaron Sorkin wrote it. The black guy that was his partner was Wolfgang Bodison, Kevin Pollak, Cuba Gooding Jr., Christopher Guest, Noah Wiley. The only one they don't show is James Marshall is his name. James Marshall, who was in Gladiator. But yeah, A Few Good Men
Yeah, no, that's his top listed movie. So yeah.
was Gladiator.
Oh, that's right. He was also the guard in Cadence. He was the yard guard.
No way.
Yeah, that's right.
I want to go back. You know what? I'm watching that tonight. Cadence.
Yeah. No, I just bought it from Amazon a couple months ago.
Really? Yeah, that was a great, holy shit, great underrated movie. But getting back to A Few Good Men, I'm just seeing if I could see it here.
This was
They grossed $141.3 million in the box office. I'm not seeing how much it cost to make it though.
Yeah, with that cast, probably quite a bit, but still a good haul.
Yeah, and for me, that's the creme de la creme when it comes to lawyer movies. There's a lot we left out of there that are great ones as well. 12 Angry Men.
Yeah. Even the remake was good. With Tony Danza and
was Tony in that?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they did bring Jack Lemmon back for it. I remember that because he was in the original. But yeah. So some really good ones that we left off the list there. If we missed something, let us know. Put it in there. Yeah, we got 5.
No, that was 10, but I was doing 5 for both of us.
Well, mine's a black hand, so you just keep yours to yourself.
Right. Here,
oh shit! It's not on the side.
I'll put it right here.
Well played. Well played. So that's it. If you guys have some other movies that you'd like to add to that, please do throw them in the comments there, and we will post them up for you. But that is it for our movies. Hope you guys enjoyed them. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Steve, I moved into my new place. I am in the great big city of Fort Erie. And one of the issues anytime you move somewhere is switching over and having your internet or your cable moved over to your new place. And I got to tell you, I am so happy I am with DocNet because DocNet was here day one. I had this shit all set up. We are here. We're live streaming.
Not this shit.
Not that shit. This shit. But the good shit, the good stuff, we'll say. DocNet. And the best thing about it is they are cheap and affordable. And here in Ontario, to suit your needs, help you save some money because we're all looking to save a little bit of money, especially these days. Prices going up everywhere else. You know where the prices aren't going up? DocNet. So do yourself a favor. Give Tony a call. Tell him that you heard Zeus and the Wellandwingnut talking about DocNet and you want to save some money without sacrificing any of your internet skills. That's right, skills. So go to docnet.ca. Tell him Ryan sent you. Tell him Zeus sent you. Tell him Wellandwingnut sent you. Tell them Amber and Johnny sent you. Just call them. Anyways, docnet.ca, connecting the world to your home. Beep. That was it. It's a true story. What is? Is it a true story?
True story.
About what happened with Dr. Poe's horses today? Sadder than This Is Us. They are. Now, folks, if it's your first time joining us here today, you've never had. What? She's coming through. I'm in Fort Erie, and I still don't feel safe here in Fort Erie.
That's my question from before. It's not my fault. He can't read.
What?
Hooked on Pahonics worked for him.
What is she talking about?
That was the comment from like.
Yeah, see,
that you couldn't see before.
I can't even hear my hand up and Steve answered
that was for conviction.
Question.
Oh, yeah, I missed it. I just posted it for.
It's a true story.
It is a true story. True story.
You need to know how to do that, right, Ryan? Catch up with the comments, man. My God.
Hey, listen, we mentioned it, all right? Listen here, Facebook user. Hey, if this is your first time watching the show, you've never seen Steve's 5-second movie review before. What happens during that is we take a movie and Steve has 5 seconds to review said movie. And in those 5 seconds, he is going to give you the best review of that movie. And Steve, the movie you got this week again?
Uncharted, starring Tom Holland and one of the Wahlbergs.
Donnie? It would have been a much better. No, I'm just kidding. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put 5 seconds on the board. Steve is gonna give us his review. So folks, if you're ready, it is time for Steve's 5 second movie review by Steve. Yeah, jazz hands over Johnny and Amber. Jazz hands. Damn it. That's a way to get in some shit right there. All right. So, Steve, if you're ready, I am going to put 5 seconds on the board. You are going to give us your review of the Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg movie, Uncharted. 5 seconds are on the board. You may begin now.
Uncharted? Like, how many I'm going to give it out of 5?
Wait, what?
It's definitely not going to be off the charts.
So this is, you weren't a fan.
I thought you were giving Line of Fight to duty.
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Facebook
Yeah,
user.
I mean, it started all okay. Didn't end very strong. I mean, it was very Tomb Raider-y.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
genre. That's
Yeah.
the whole point of. They're kind of like Indiana Jones. That's what they're tributes to.
Oh, yeah, we could refer to that as well, I guess.
I mean, that's where I would have went.
Just all in all, the ending, the overall, I mean, it wasn't great.
Yeah. So what did you give it?
I gave it a 2.
Wow. Well, I mean, that's not too bad though. I mean, out of 5,
Yeah.
2 out of 5 ain't bad. I mean, it's not good, but
No,
it's not bad.
no. Yeah, it's again, it started stronger than it finished.
Yeah. I want to say I like the movie. I want to say that. I probably, if I was going out of 5, I maybe would give it a 3 just for some of the accurate stuff to the show.
Right.
But why cast Marky Mark to play Marky Mark? He wasn't playing Sully at all.
Yeah, and that's
Tom
a good
Holland
point.
was great.
That's a good point you just made. Having played the games, you're giving it a high rating because of some of the accuracy, which I also did for the Return or Welcome to Raccoon City.
Right.
Wasn't a great movie, but had a lot of great references and very accurate. Was very true to the video games. So I hear you there.
Yeah, definitely. Tom Holland was very. I thought he was really good as Nathan Drake, especially a young Drake. I just, for real, to me, and yes, I know my bias against Mark Wahlberg, but oh my Lord, he's so bad in this role, and it feels like they wrote Tom Holland's character to be just like Nathan Drake. They wrote Chloe to be just like Chloe. I don't know who I forget what her name was, the black girl that was the main antagonist,
Right?
but she's a new character. So, I mean, she was fine, but I don't know why you take an iconic character like Sully and write him to be just like Mark Wahlberg in every Mark Wahlberg movie. And I know that's not true because in Transformers, he shows so much range.
He definitely threw up a big Wahlburger in this one.
He threw up an Amber Heard, did he? Listen, I still holding out hope for the sequel.
Yeah,
mostly because Mark Wahlberg says he's retiring from these movies. So I hope that means that he won't be back for a sequel. If so, and bring in Nathan Fillion. I don't give a shit. Just either give the role to Bruce Campbell, who's probably a little too old for it, or give it to Nathan Fillion to play Sully.
Yeah,
that's simple.
Next week for my 5-second review, or whenever we come back, because you never know. You never know
right.
from time to time. But my next movie will be Ambulance, starring Jake Gyllenhaal.
All right, yeah, I've been looking for it. I seen that one come across, and I keep thinking about watching it. It's a Michael Bay movie, so don't hold that against it. So this is what I hear. I hear this is the least Michael Bay movie. So I don't know what that means. I mean, I hear there's not as many explosions as normal. So, but I don't know what it is. Like, I think Jake Gyllenhaal's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
He creeps the shit out of me in almost everything he does. Like, I have a hard time with every movie he's in that I watch. I'm always like, like
He was
I don't
definitely
wanna feel it. Like,
little
Like-
bit of little preview you'll get. He was great in this, and he is great when he is in roles like this.
right, like Nightcrawler,
Yeah,
Donnie Darko.
yeah.
I mean, even Mysterio was creepier than he would normally be. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I might watch it.
Yeah, check it out.
As long as I don't have to see that black guy's dick again. He was in. I'm pretty sure he was the guy that was in the Watchmen TV series.
Well, I
HBO
hope so
series.
now.
He played. He was Mr. Manhattan or Dr. Manhattan, like the upgraded version. It was weird. Not too sure about the movie though. It looks like they showed the entire movie in the trailer.
Which one's that now? Uncharted or Ambulance?
Yeah, is that Ambulance? And you know which one I'm really getting sick of them doing that with? Doctor Strange is coming out in like a week, and they're showing everything. And I'm hoping, like I'm like crossing my fingers, hoping that they're going even above what they did with the commercials for Infinity War, where they showed us like the Hulk scenes where it really wasn't him and other people there that weren't. I'm hoping that's what we're getting, because, man, it's. I
remember thinking that watching the trailer for the last episodes of Ozarks, which just premiered on Netflix yesterday, and I only got 2 left. There was a lot of scenes in that last trailer that I was like, "Oh man, that's got to be a dream sequence," because otherwise, why the fuck would they show that? And
it wasn't.
And thankfully, they were.
Oh, dude, spoilers! I just added it to my watch list.
Oh,
So,
such a good show.
I'm waiting. Listen though, we defer on a lot of these shows that are like this though, because I find it might be like Breaking Bad, and yeah, if so, we'll see. Although I do love Jason Bateman. All right, well that's it. That's it for the 5-second movie review. 2 out of 5 for Uncharted. Watch it at your leisure, if you will.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Take my word for it.
big thanks to our sponsors, DocNet, as well, for sponsoring the show and that segment. And speaking of segments, it's time for us to get to our next segment, where we inform the public on what's happening in the world of geek. Well, here we are again. It's another week down, and it's time for This Week in Geek. And Dr. Death over there, the Wellandwingnut, starts us off with the bad news every week.
Should we move this segment to the end of the show?
No, we can't end on bad news. We just can't.
Being that I am a huge Bengals fan and that it is draft weekend, I found it fitting to honor the very first Bengal, Mr. John Stofa, proud Cincinnatian, died in Cincinnati, stayed there the rest of his life, even though he played for a couple more teams after us. His license plate in Cincinnati in Ohio was actually first Bengal. Didn't have a great season with us. Only played the 1 year. 896 yards passing.
He only played 1 season with you?
Well, he was our first pick. We were a new team.
He only played 1 season with you.
That's it.
Legend.
Legendary. Also played for Pittsburgh, Miami, and the Jacksonville Sharks of the World Football League.
Oh, well, rest in peace to the legendary Bengal.
The OG.
The OG.
Moving on, Miss Cynthia Caster, the Plaster Caster, made famous in a 1977 song from Kiss on the Love Gun album. She made it famous in a very strange way. She actually would cast and mold celebrities' penises.
Jimi Hendrix.
Eric Burden from the Animals.
Yeah, not Gene Simmons.
No.
But was it true that she did? I'd heard a rumor once that she had done a plaster mold of Janis Joplin's privates.
That may be true because I know in her later years, she was actually taking casts of celebrities' breasts. So,
take a little piece of my heart, I guess. Well, rest in peace to the Plaster Caster. How old was she?
74 years old. And then at 71 years old, we lost legendary saxophone player Andrew Woolwolf from the band Earth, Wind, and Fire. Wasn't currently with the band, but was one of the original members. Joined in 1972 and was inducted along with them into the Hall of Fame in 2000. Great. If you ever get a chance, I did not think I was an Earth, Wind, and Fire fan. I went to go see Chicago a few years ago in Hamilton.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And they opened up, and man, were they good. And I'm going to see them again this summer. They're opening up for Santana, so I can't wait.
Sweet. Right on.
Good time.
Well, that wasn't the only musician we lost.
No, Miss Naomi Judd at the age of 76. We just found out as we were about to go live. Daughters Winona and Ashley, of course. Winona famous from the duo The Judds, along with her, Ashley the actress. The Judds had 20 top 10 hits, including 15 number ones.
Yeah, they were huge because you and I weren't huge country fans.
No,
and we knew the Judds. Like there was not a person on the planet. There were certain country singers, whether you knew country or not, you knew.
That's it.
Dolly Parton, Kenny Rogers, Willie Nelson, the Judds. Like that. Those were the names that, at least in that era, the 80s / 90s, that everybody knew. So, and what a legacy! Or at least a gene pool right there among those three women. So,
yeah. And then last but certainly not least, I'm going to let you take this one. Mr. Neil Adams passed away yesterday.
Yeah, Neil Adams is one of, oh man, I don't even know how to put this. When it comes to Batman artists or just even comic book artists that had a big impact on at least my viewing career, that was Neil Adams. And Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil, they worked on, he reimagined Batman. So put it this way, Batman in the comic books was very much, up until he came around, until Neil Adams came around, was very much following the 66
right.
Adam West, Burt Ward kind of style. And Neil Adams came back and he brought back the Joker and brought back that mean, seductive, killer Joker. And just Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams working on Green Lantern and Green Arrow, where they find out that they made Green Arrow's sidekick Speedy a fucking heroin addict. I'm serious. Like these are not people shit on comic books all the time, talking about, oh, they're for kids or for that. And I'm like, no, like I have a series of comic books about Wolverine's clone daughter where she's a hooker, like a teenage hooker for like 4 or 5 years. The comic books are not what people think. And a lot of that has to do with guys like Neil Adams, a trailblazer, and a guy who we've seen him in St. Catharines at the comic book store. We've seen him at every convention. Dude, how many times have you been beside me and I'm like, look, there's Neil Adams, and he waves at us, and you're like, go talk to him. And I don't. Like, that's the guy. I go talk to everybody else, and that was the guy I wouldn't go talk to, because that guy was a fucking legend. And that is not hyperbole. That is the fictional truth, or the fictional, you know what I mean, the non-fictional truth. He is one of the most important people in DC Comics history and in Batman's history. We don't get Michael Keaton's Batman without having Neil Adams come along with his version. So that's it, man. And telling us why he's got that yellow there, That's so that people aim at his chest instead of his face when guys are shooting and stuff. So they aim at that target because, you know, he's got the bottom part there. And yeah. So anyways, absolute legend. And the world of comics will deeply, deeply miss him. So yeah.
Well
Thanks
said.
a lot, yo. Thanks a lot for starting us off with all the death, Steve.
I didn't kill him.
Well, you know what? I am wondering is speaking of dead, The Walking Dead, is that over now? Have they? Or
no, we're waiting on the final. So last season was broken up into 3 parts, 8 episodes, 8 episodes, 8 episodes. So we're waiting on the final 8, which will premiere after this current season of Fear.
Right. Okay. So we'd all known there's a couple spinoffs that are supposed to come out from this. We get the Rick movies, supposedly, or maybe they turn into a series now. Who knows? But we also were supposed to get the Daryl and Carol adventures.
Right.
And you know me, my favorite character on this show was Carol, like on the show. Not the comic book, because she dies early. And she was pretty weak too. Yeah. She was the complete opposite. She was Andrea.
I was glad
they switched her and Andrea, right?
I was glad when she died.
Yeah. But Andrea in the comic books was basically Carol. Yeah. I mean, but so we've heard though recently that Melissa McBride, who plays Carol, has stepped down now from the spinoff. Yeah. No word has been given. Fans have been freaking out, blaming Norman Reedus for this. To Jeffrey Dean Morgan came out, flipping out on fans, calling fans toxic and not knowing what they're talking about, blaming Norman for something he had nothing to do with. Yeah, no. Same with, I think Kirkman came out and said the same thing.
They actually had moved the shooting to England, to the UK, and Melissa McBride said basically she couldn't make the move right now.
Oh, okay. Well, that's understandable then, right? I mean, but why would they move it there? Or problems with Georgia?
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, so
I complained at the beginning of this season, like we're going into the final year. We've got only a handful of original characters left, or semi-original characters left. And then they announce a Negan and Maggie spinoff. Like, hello, last season, why would you spoil that for us? Like, you know what I mean? Well, maybe we thought they were going to die along with Carol and Daryl. Like, yeah, it is a bit of a spoiler, but I think that's more of a move for sponsors than anything else. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that's sad news. Yeah, it does. I don't know if Norman Reedus is enough to hold this show together now, losing Carol. I know. Maybe they're going to feel a little snake bitten. They'll hold back. Maybe a little snake bitten. And I'm sure he didn't say "as you wish." As you wish. Yes. A segue on a segue. I like it. Carrie Elwes was in his backyard at his Malibu home when he was bitten by a rattlesnake this week. He was rushed to the hospital, received the antivenom, and is expected to make a full recovery. When asked about it, he said he wasn't sure if it was a rattlesnake or if it was a rouse. If you don't know what a rouse is a rodent of unusual size, which is Princess Bride reference. Oh, I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm like, oh, I got to look this up to see what it is. Yeah, they were attacked by them in the swamp there. Yeah, and I'm looking on TV. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna put up a picture here. You got to give me a quick second for it. So I looked it up, and I'm like, okay, what is a rouse? And then you said that, so I'm like, oh, look up Princess Bride as well. Seems people think they're real. Yeah, love it. They're terrifying. Do not go in those woods. No, the fire don't get you. The fire pits don't get you. The rouses will, or the spiders. Nah, I'm not worried about those. We have Australian friends. Just kidding. Still not going to Australia. Yeah, we might actually one day. Ambulance. Your comment just came up now. I don't know if that's delayed response or not, Natalie Roberts, but thanks so much for tuning in.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I'm not going to say too much about it because then you wouldn't tune in next week.
Yeah. Tune in next week to see his 5-second movie review for that. But I don't know, dude. Rousey, she gets Rousey. So Sam Raimi, director of the original Spider-Man movies, now directing Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness. This is another one where I'm hating all the trailers they're releasing because I feel like we've seen everything. We talked about that a little bit earlier. But he was asked about Spider-Man 4. And he said that in Spider-Man 4, they were going to clean up the Venom stuff, but he wanted to add Kraven, and Kraven was going to be the focus of this. The ultimate human, or the ultimate hunter, chasing the ultimate trickster in Spider-Man. So I think that would have been great. The weirdest part I found was the way they were going to introduce him. So in some storylines, Kraven's Russian, some he's South African, but he's got that. He could be Russian. So Sam Raimi had some interesting choices. Topher Grace's Venom was weird. But the weirdest choice would have been he was going to use someone we had already seen in all the movies. I want my rent, Spider-Man. I want rent. Now. Bring me rent. So the funny thing about that guy? So I only know him from... I wouldn't even have remembered him except for he became a huge meme for being the rent guy in the Spider-Man. Right. I'm watching Becker, and he's Becker's landlord.
Oh, no way.
Becker's superintendent. Then he dies.
That's funny.
Right? I'm like, typecast much? But yeah, I don't know, man. I thought it was funny. It was like, I don't know. It's like Kraven the Hunter. He's chasing down some coyotes.
Looney Tunes upcoming movie with John Cena playing Wile E. Coyote's lawyer. Originally slated for July 21st, 2023, has now been listed as unscheduled, and in its place is been put Margot Robbie in the Barbie movie.
Really? Well, speaking of the Barbie movie, we got our first look at it as well with Margot Robbie as Barbie. I mean, they're both. Is the Barbie movie put on by Warner Brothers?
It must be.
Yeah, maybe that's why they're swapping spots. Yeah. And what? I wonder what they were going up against. I wonder if that had anything to do with it, because Avatar 2 is coming out, and we had that. I forgot to put the story. There was a movie that was slated to come out. And then Avatar 2 announced they would be out that date. And they're like, yeah, fuck that. We're peacing out. And I can't remember which one it was offhand. But Avatar 2 has a lot of people afraid. So I'm wondering if that may have been it.
No doubt.
But, hey.
Yeah, a lot of one of my first stories coming out of CinemaCon in Vegas this past week was the first Avatar footage released from Avatar 2. As well as I just saw this right before we went live. Borderlands from software developer Gearbox and publisher 2K. This will be a Lionsgate movie. So,
yeah, what they released footage for it?
Yeah.
Okay. Kevin Hart's in that one, right?
Yeah, that's right. I didn't get a chance to see that one because it was, like I said, right before we went. So yeah. Well,
we reported on it coming, like them making it and all the casting news. I forget who else was in it with him.
Yeah, Jack Black, I think. No,
possibly.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, all right. Okay.
Yeah, I just really feel like it's so far removed from the first one that, like, I don't know if I care anymore.
Well, and dude, I like the first movie. I still don't understand how that was like the greatest grossing film of all time until Avengers. And then they went back and forth even after Avengers came out because Cameron re-released it.
Right.
But Zoe Saldana says that she watched the first 5, maybe 20 minutes of the movie and said she was in tears watching it of how beautiful it was. And James Cameron, listen, I will always root for that dude just because he's a local boy. And when I say local, I don't mean Canadian. He's a Niagara region boy. So we'll always root for our own and hope for the best. And not only that, the dude has put in so much money in philanthropy when it comes to cleaning up the ocean and shit, and also exploring the ocean. So yeah, I wish him the best. I just don't wish that the only movie I want to see of his be bigger than a Marvel movie is the Marvel movie that he makes. And I want that to happen. I want to see Doctor Strange 3 directed by James Cameron. Speaking of Doctor Strange, though, Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, got the look at their new poster right there. It's opening May 5th. I've got my ticket already for my son and I. Now, there's a new character added to this. She's an existing character in the comic books. She can traverse the multiverse, and her name is America Chavez, I believe. But she is Miss America, they call her. But she is a LGBTQ character, and a lot of countries are banning this movie because Disney is refusing to cut the scenes with it. Saudi Arabia, just one of numerous countries that say they will not allow.
And from what I've read, it's a very small scene.
Yeah,
like one reference.
A reference, and I don't even think they kiss or anything like that.
Yeah,
I mean, so, and wasn't there? I feel like we've seen gay couples in the MCU already. Like maybe I'm mistaken it. I'm not sure offhand, but
yeah,
it's your country. You do what you want. But I'm pretty sure your citizens want to watch the movie anyways. If they watched all the other ones, they're going to want to watch this one. And a reference isn't going to make them be like, oh, shit, like, oh, I'm going to have to, like, serve them papers now. What?
Like,
you love my references.
Like in front of a live studio audience?
Right. Like, that would just be wrong if you're on stage somewhere and, like, someone just comes up to you and hands you papers.
To no fault of Jason Sudeikis, because he did file these papers over 6 months ago. Unfortunately, the process server chose CinemaCon in Vegas to hand Olivia Wilde her papers on stage, as she doesn't look very impressed. Of course, Olivia Wilde left Mr. Sudeikis a while back for Mr. Harry Styles of One Direction fame. They have 2 kids, and Jason's going for full custody. So,
oh wow, so much to unpack there. So much to unpack there. I don't know the particulars of their relationship or anything like that. And I guess like this happens in Hollywood all the time with people leaving and stuff. Sudeikis seems like a really decent dude, but anybody can seem good in front of a camera. So
yeah,
a terrible time for that to happen. I kind of want to give props to the server though. I mean, if it's anything like we see in movies, like it's a hard thing to get people to take those. So I mean, if he had to go to CinemaCon for her to actually
buy a ticket,
I mean, good on you.
I have to agree. That's one of the first things I thought when I saw this. Like, my second question is, where the fuck was security?
But was it just a question though, like where you can come up and then she?
I mean, maybe, but
so my guess is if it's like one of those Q&As, is like, oh, and I made these pictures for you, blah blah blah, and like, oh, okay, I'll come up and sign. Can you sign them for me? And then, yeah, well played.
Yeah, as we see the drama unfold.
Yeah. I mean, all right. That's not the only drama unfolding. We heard the Aziz Ansari directed film that's starring Bill Murray has been put on hold due to some comments made by Mr. Murray, Bill. And Bill was on CNBC and he had some comments. First time he actually spoke out about it. I said he and another actor had a difference of opinion. I had a difference of opinion with a woman I'm working with. I did something I thought was funny, and it wasn't taken that way. We had a difference of opinion. That's twice we have that. The movie studio wanted to do the right thing, so they wanted to check it out and investigate it, so they had stopped the production. But as of now, we're talking, and we're trying to make peace with each other. I think that's where the real issue is between our piece. We're both professionals. We like each other's work. We like each other, I think. And if we can't really get along and trust each other, there's no point going further working together or making movies. What'd he say? What'd he say? Like that's it, man. That's the determining factor.
Yeah.
I want to give Bill the benefit of the doubt. We have heard stories of Bill being crusty over the years and being really hard to work with. Right, Amber? But he is from that same school of thought that Chevy Chase is, I think, you know? Yeah. Maybe not quite the racist part. No. Listen, and I joke when I say the racist thing because I don't know that for a fact. That's just shit that people have.
That's just what the community says.
And I mean, there were people of color on that show. And people of not color. Wait, so are white people not people of color?
I mean, depends.
White's not a color, I guess.
I mean, not if you're from Wales.
Well,
they're pretty much translucent.
And they don't count for anything anyways, right? No, I'm kidding. We love our Welsh.
We do. We really do.
We really do. Again,
my girlfriend's Welsh. That's why I make that joke. So
and I will always make the same joke that my grandfather always told me. And the funny thing is, I actually saw it in a comic book later. How do you get a Welshman? A Welshman? You take all the courage and machismo from a Scotsman, and you take all the humor and manliness of an Irishman, and whatever's left over, that's Welsh. Again, really love you guys. Last name's Fleming. I'm just saying.
Send all your hate mail to
Wellandwingnut at gmail.com. He'll take that.
I'll
take
reply.
that and just leave.
I reply to all of them.
Just leave. Just leave. That seems to be the thing to do. Hey, where is James Corden from?
He is from the UK, I believe.
Okay, but is he from the UK or is he from Wales? Is he from England? Is he from fucking Northern Ireland? Is he from Scotland?
I'm really not sure.
The UK, that's the United Kingdom.
I know come 2023, he's not going to be from CBS anymore. Because Mr. James Corden is leaving the late show in early 2023. I mean, I don't care because I don't stay up that late anymore. And he stole my idea for carpool karaoke. So fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. Listen, I'm with you on that bandwagon, but not for him stealing your idea. But this is a guy that shit talked Doctor Who after being on Doctor Who. This was before getting his show.
And he was in Cats.
What's that?
And he was in Cats, so I mean, we can't forgive him for that.
And he's James Corden. We just can't forgive him for that.
I'm just saying, carpool karaoke, way better name.
I mean, yeah. I mean, okay. I'm trying to think of a way to segue, but I can't. We got our first look today of Red Foreman and Kitty Foreman on the set of That 90s Show. At least we think that's what it's going to be called. Netflix releasing the first look today. And man, they look great. I'm a fan of this show. Were you a fan of this show?
I was a fan of this show, but I think I did fall off in the end because again, this was the 90s and I wasn't home a lot to watch a lot of TV in the 90s.
Fair. I wasn't either, but still found a way. I don't know how. I fell off near the end too, though, as well.
Yeah, so, the one show I never missed was I had my VCR. VCR is this thing where you put these. I record at Married with Children every Sunday night. That's religiously. I never miss that.
Yeah, he would take his stone tablet, his chisel, and he would record it.
True story.
I'm like a little bit older than he is. So we also heard that we are going to see all the original cast return, minus, of course, Danny Masterson, Hyde, who's ran into some legal issues. And, yeah. And if they're true, like they say there, fuck that guy. So, but I'm happy to see Eric and Topher Grace, Topher Grace and Ashton Kutcher back after they had their beef. The whole reason why Eric left and then Topher left. So it'll be fun to see how they do this. And like I said, yeah, hopefully it's good. That's all, man.
Yeah, man.
It's like, and next, bring back the Reading Rainbow.
Yeah, I mean, it ran for 23 years, so there's lots of reruns, but there's no reason not to bring a great show like that back. All the great it did for the youth of North America and wherever else it played. We grew up with LeVar Burton. He's been part of our lives for so long. And
Roots, Star Trek, Reading Rainbow.
The
Magic
new
School Bus.
Magic School Bus. That's right. The all-new Children's Emmys will be honoring Mr. Burton with a Lifetime Achievement Award. Of course, like we said, debuted on PBS in 1983 and ran for 23 seasons.
Man, we need a LeVar Burton documentary, and I'm not like I'm absolutely serious because I'm just thinking this now, and maybe this is a bit of a knee-jerk reaction, but he is our generation, like our version of Gen X, that are just approaching 50. He's our Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Like, we had Mr. Rogers already, but when we were young, Mr. Rogers was an old dude. Like, that was more for...
We were told to stay away from those guys on our block.
Yeah.
The ones with the puppets and the tickletrons.
Yeah. And we had Mr. Dress Up as well, right? So it was like, we were like, who was who? But when it came to like Reading Rainbow, we had Roots, we had Star Trek, and then the fucking Magic School Bus was huge for not us, but for our kids. Like that was what my oldest daughter grew up on that stuff. So, and he's always about teaching. So
I didn't grab the actual quote, but I didn't grab the actual quote, but it was something like he had said that his life has just been one blessing after another.
Yeah. And you know what? It's honestly, it still irks me that he isn't one of the hosts for Jeopardy.
Yeah.
I like Mayim Bialik. Ken Jennings makes sense because he's the biggest winner of all time.
And shout out to a fellow Canadian who's just killing it on Jeopardy right now.
I think she's 16th right now for 16th longest, or 16 in a row. She's still got a ways to go to get close to Ken, but she's doing awesome. Toronto girl.
Yeah.
So well done. But it looks like everyone thinks that's impossible to do, but it is not mission impossible for her. That's how you do a segue. We have found out from Cinecon as well that Mission Impossible 7 will be titled Dead Reckoning Part 1. Now, are you a fan of any of these movies?
I honestly haven't seen any of them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They seem like they would be fun movies.
They are. So here's how I would say it. One is fun. One is good. It's hard to watch now because the computer stuff because I watched it the other day and I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah, it's outdated technology, but they get so much better. 2 is a little rough. 3's shit. Once they hit Ghost Protocol, though, and Simon Pegg and Ving Rhames enters the fray, these movies are just fantastic. I'm kind of upset. My son told me he hates Tom Cruise as an actor. He's like, he's always the same guy. And I'm like, what? He's never the same guy. Never. Well, maybe sometimes, but I don't know. Kokomo? How is Kokomo the same as Maverick? Or is the same as the Last Samurai dude? Or as
Cocktail, I think you're referring to?
Yeah, Kokomo.
Yeah.
Kokomo. I will not call it Cocktail. It is called Kokomo. Now and forever. Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take you to the next. I don't know. Whatever. It's almost as good as the Ghostbusters theme.
It is almost as good as Ray Parker Jr.'s Ghostbuster theme.
Who are you going to call? Ray Parker Jr.
Ghostbusters Afterlife is just announced. Sony also at CinemaCon. Sony has announced that they are going into production for a sequel. So I think this was a no-brainer.
Yeah, I hope Is Jason Reitman directing again?
I don't know.
Because if there's not a Reitman involved, I do not want a Ghostbusters movie.
Well, if it's not a right man, then it's the wrong man.
Right, man. Fuck. No, for real though. These movies are better when Ivan or Jason's involved.
Yeah.
And I don't like. I was the guy that was on fucking Paul
Feige, yeah. And I love Melissa McCarthy.
Me too. And I like Kristen Wiig. Like I'm one of those people that like her.
It's great. Yeah.
But the movie was
even the weird chick, the Australian girl.
Chris Hemsworth? Thor? Yeah, I know. But maybe they
Leslie Jones. She's Australian, right?
Leslie Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No.
Why would you tell me that?
She's not, mate.
Why would you
I'm
tell me
talking
that?
to Amber Heard. Hey.
That's hearsay.
You're with an
That's
Amber
hearsay.
as well. I'm just putting that out there.
I'm always on Amber Alert.
Smart. And last story that we got, swapping dates are Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. They're swapping dates with the Marvels, the Captain Marvel sequel. I don't know why, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't really given us a reason, so I'm okay with it.
It's your stuff. You do what you want with it.
Exactly. You know, I trust that you're just gonna keep putting stuff. This is the way I look at it with Marvel. You're gonna put stuff out, and I'm either gonna like it or I'm gonna love it, and that's it. Or it's gonna be Thor: The Dark World, but that's 1 out of fucking 22 years. Sorry, 2. Iron Man 2 was kind of shit too. But other than that, for me, that's just personally me. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm like, yeah, win-win. Either I like it or I love it.
Yeah. All right. One story I forgot to add, and I just threw it in here at the last second. Mr. James Hong. I mean, we talked about this before. How
He's awesome.
we found out a few years back that you actually have to pay to get a Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame. So I mean, that it kind of, but still an honor to be, I guess, allowed to pay for one.
Yeah, I guess.
And no one better than Mr. James Hong. 93 years old, over 500 roles, 70 years in the business.
Absolutely.
Still people go back to Lo Pan from Big Trouble in Little China, but great actor. Most recently, a voice actor in Pixar's Turning Red, which you can watch on Disney Plus. So
I haven't seen that one yet.
Love me some James Hong. He's always great in everything he's in.
Yeah, he's he's a scene stealer.
Yeah,
an absolute scene stealer.
He really is,
like in the best possible ways. So I'm gonna go back to one last thing here before we leave, and going to play our TikToker of the week for you folks. And you give me a quick second here to put it up here, and I hope you enjoy. Oh, wait, that didn't turn out too well. Hang on.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why that was like that. So if we've all seen this girl though, and everyone's making the videos, but I think it came that's why it took so long to export the volume. They put the speech out. It's no good. What a fail. I am sorry, folks. That's all on well, I'm putting that one on Adobe. I'm putting that on Adobe.
It's probably her fault.
Yeah, well,
not you, the other Amber I'm looking at.
I'm blaming Amber Heard. I'm saying Amber Heard's fault because she shit the bed on that one.
She did.
That's going to be the new term for shitting the bed. Oh, you really took an Amber Heard there. You heard? Well, yeah. Sorry about that. But go look for that girl. She's funny. There's this girl. She hits herself as she's doing a video, and now everyone's adding to it and singing on it. And what is?
I don't know what's happening.
We talked about it off the top of the show.
She found the goofy pills.
She is the goofy pills. Yeah, so we talked about it a little bit at the top of the show there, Kurt. Minnesota went heavy with defense. We got a safety in the first round. We traded back, though. We traded so we can get 2 picks in the second round. We picked up a corner and a running back. We need that help with Delvin Cook. You know, he's getting older in running back terms. And Steve, you guys went defense as well.
Heavy D, yeah, and I look forward to many, many years of Cincinnati's defense sacking Mr. Pickett there, Kurt.
Kenny, I like that pick though. No pun intended, but no, I like that pick. And you saw even Mike. Oh, what is the head coach's name?
Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin. You see Mike T just super excited. He's like, yeah, we like they stole the pick there, and I think he still would have been around for the few more picks.
Yeah, the way quarterbacks were flying out the door.
Yeah, it was not a quarterback heavy draft so far, at least. I haven't seen too much for today yet, though.
No.
To be honest. But what were you thinking, Kurt? How are you liking your draft so far? And are you getting that too, Steve, on your side, where all the comments are coming up on the side? Is it where it says can't post comments to some destinations?
Oh yeah,
covering the last comment. Yeah, I can never see what the last comment is.
No, that's weird.
And I see Scotty Rowlands had come on and said Shazam, but I'm not sure for what. That was a while ago. Shazam 2, though, is in the works. And I think they showed a trailer for that as well at Cinecon. Cinecon had a lot of stuff going there. Oh, somebody said something there. Love it. He loves his draft. Yeah, I bet, man. You guys got hopefully you got another quarterback of the future there. But we will see. Steve's not like that.
And they picked up a wide receiver too, Pickens. So it's going to be Pickett to Pickens.
Oh, good luck to play-by-play.
Right.
At least it's not hockey. You know, it
that's
can
right.
Be Pickens to Pickens, and that's it, right? But Pickens to Pickens. And then what if Pickens throws to Pickens, but he gets picked?
Right.
He gets picked.
It's supposed to go to Pickens, but he gets picked.
Pickens throwing the pick to Pickens. Yeah.
There's got to be a Pickens on defense somewhere.
So wrong. So wrong. Anyways, that's about it. Anything else, buddy?
I got nothing.
You got nothing. Next week, the movie going to be Wambulance.
Wambulance, yes.
Wambulance.
Just Jake chilling all crying the entire time.
He's creepy. I'm just going to assume he's creepy in this role.
He's intense. He is intense.
Intense and creepy and cringy.
Yeah.
That's the better thing. Not creepy, he's cringy. I find his roles cringy. He likes the cringe. QB of the future, couple receivers, D lineman. Yeah. Need some O linemen, dude.
Gotta protect the future.
Yeah. And if you're all smart, you're putting $20 on Minnesota winning the Super Bowl this year. Just putting it out there.
As we can now do it in Canada with our single game sports betting.
I wouldn't know anything about that. Casino at home? What? I'll never have money ever again. All right, well, that's going to do it for us. Big shout out to our sponsor as well, DocNet, DocNet.ca. If you're looking for internet in your area, go to DocNet.ca. Tell them RaTG TV sent you. For the Wellandwingnut, it's your boy Zeus. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. And we will see you all next week.